Welcome back to the show. My name is Mark Nixon. I have a huge show for you today. Huge is literally huge. Actually, it is massive. Yesterday, Edmonton hosted a conservative rally, which is already etched into Canadian history as a record-breaking and transformative event. Led by Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party, this drew an astonishing, and you are not going to believe these estimates, between 11 and 15,000 people showed up to this event, with the police force saying there was at least 12,500 attendees. This is the largest rally ever in Canadian history. The sheer scale of this turnout, coupled with the electric atmosphere, suggests that this was not just another campaign stop. It was a moment that will define Canadian politics for years to come. Some people are out there saying, you know what? It was in Alberta. Of course it drew thousands, tens of thousands of people. But guess what? Even Stephen Harper in 2015, the largest crowd size he had was 2,000. This just blew that thing right out of the water. Some people that exited last night said they thought there was 25,000 people at the rally. And guess what? Mark Carney held a rally last night, and we're going to take a look at it, but the truth is the Liberals are only able to, and this is in Liberal strongholds, bring in 5% of the total size that we saw last night in Edmonton. It is blowing the Liberals' attendance out of the water. We're going to take a look at the Edmonton rally today, and I'm going to show you some amazing clips, and we're going to compare it to Mark Carney's rally in Richmond that occurred at the exact same time as the Edmonton rally. And oh man, what a difference. Then we're going to touch on foreign interference in Canada, something we've been talking about for over a year, and we still don't know the names of the 11 MPs that have not been disclosed, and we're going into an election, and now we just got disclosed that by election watchdogs that they found something, and you are not going to believe what they found. We're going to cover it. My channel has exploded in subscribers from 2,000 to 8,100 in a week. You guys are absolutely amazing. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, smash that subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss any of these updates. Let's go. We're going to start things off in Edmonton, the Edmonton rally, and you are not going to believe the story here. There was so many people in this industrial warehouse. The cell towers could not handle the volume of people in this area. It crashed everything, meaning there was zero live footage from inside the rally. It was insane. I was watching some of the live footage from people on YouTube channels, and they literally crashed the second they entered the building. You can't make any of this stuff up. And get this, some other reports say there's too much steel inside this building, which caused the receptions to fail. I got a clip for you because I thought Mark Carney said that Canada doesn't use any steel.
Steel company, how much steel are you using these days, Todd? I mean, not as much.
Yeah, Mark Carney said that Canadians don't use any steel. How much steel do you use? We use quite a bit. So one of the things that I absolutely love about these rallies, and it is crushing it, it is part of the momentum, is these beautiful Canadians singing the Canadian national anthem. And that's how we're going to start this video off. Before I show you the national anthem, every show I have a theme, and usually I have the picture of the theme at the bottom left corner when I'm showing you clips. And the theme of today will be a picture that will be etched in history books when they look back on this campaign, with Stephen Harper endorsing Pierre Poilievre at the Edmonton rally. Let's take a look at the national anthem. Absolutely amazing. That gave me goosebumps. And this is the kind of unity that I'd like to see across Canada in every major city. We are a unified Canada. And you know what I also heard? That wasn't the only time that they sung the national anthem. Supposedly, Pierre Poilievre's mic stopped working for a moment and the entire crowd just started singing the national anthem, and Pierre Poilievre started singing with them. It was incredible. And here we have Pierre Poilievre entering the rally. Absolutely amazing to watch. Now, check out the size of the crowd. Like, this building is absolutely ginormous. I don't know what they're going to be using the building for, but it is huge. And this is what change looks like in Canada. Boo. And the defining moment of this rally was the endorsement by Stephen Harper. Take a look.
Friends, don't let anyone tell you that he was born to be Prime Minister, or that he can just somehow parachute into the job fully prepared. Political experience, elected, accountable political experience, and the capacity for growth with that political experience, that is what Pierre has demonstrated for 2 decades, and that is the single most important characteristic a Prime Minister needs.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And by the way, I say that as the guy who actually did lead Canada through the global financial crisis. I hear there's someone else claiming it was him. It was, of course, our government, the late, great Jim Flaherty, and our Conservative team, who were responsible for the day-to-day macroeconomic management during that challenging time.
It's true. Then we get the endorsement from Stephen Harper.
You know, friends, I am in a unique position in this federal election. I am the only person who can say that both of the men running to be Prime Minister once worked for me.
It's true.
And in that regard, my choice, without hesitation, without equivocation, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pierre Poilievre.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Now that is an endorsement. He could officially say he worked with both of those gentlemen. He chooses Pierre Poilievre because Pierre Poilievre represents the person for the people. He is not a globalist. And you are not going to believe how mainstream media didn't provide any coverage of this rally. They're like, we're not even going to show up. Only one news anchor showed up and they came late. They missed the entire thing and they just got a few clips. But take a look at how embarrassing this is.
You guys are fucking late, man.
That the challenge this country faces today.
Doesn't matter if they change the narrative.
They're not even sitting there.
Should not be another excuse for liberal failure.
No.
Instead, it should be a historic opportunity.
So CBC eventually ended up making a clip. I'm not sure how they got any video footage because that cameraman looked like his camera was on the floor. But here's the news release that they came out with. This was the only clip that came from the rally.
Conservative campaign. We are just south of Edmonton at Pierre Poilievre's rally. His organizers say this is the biggest one yet, more than 12,000 people, and an important one for Poilievre because tonight he got the endorsement of former Prime Minister Stephen Harper. Have a listen.
From a person who has been right on all the big issues for a decade, and a person who has the energy and, yes, the youth to take us forward into a better, stronger, and more united future.
There have been quite a few technical issues this evening for us because of the fact that there are just so many people packed into that building. It's made it very hard to get information in and out. But Harper did have a few key things to say. He said that he was in a unique position to talk about the leader because he is the only person where both the people running worked for him. Of course, referencing Mark Carney as the former Bank of Canada governor while Stephen Harper was the Prime Minister. He said that his choice for Prime Minister, in his words, without a shadow of a doubt, is Pierre Poilievre. He says he has known him for over a quarter of a century, that he worked hard, he fought and he learned, and that he has the political experience, and that is the most important characteristic. So obviously a very important endorsement tonight for Pierre Poilievre, just south of Edmonton here.
Don't you find it absolutely incredible that none of the mainstream media showed up for this rally when it was one of the most record-breaking for attendances in Canadian history, and they didn't even have their camera set up? I'm not sure how they got those clips, and we barely saw any of it. All they did was she was reading off her phone a couple of highlights. That is how biased reporting is in Canada. It's plain in sight. And you can see right here, I tweeted 15,000 plus people at a Canada First rally in Edmonton and nothing from CBC, CTV, and Global with a little cricket. And at the end of the rally, a lot of you might know the Pleb reporter spoke to Pierre Poilievre about the record-smashing attendance in Edmonton. And it turns out Pierre Poilievre has a great sense of humor. And congrats to Pleb because Pierre is officially a fan of Pleb. And it's all because he's been grinding it out, going to all these rallies, doing the live feeds. It's all paying off. Congratulations to Pleb. Let's take a look at this clip.
See you,
We
buddy.
broke records tonight.
Yeah, how many people were there?
17,000 people watched me show the crowd. Yes, on YouTube.
On your YouTube.
On my YouTube,
Okay.
17,000
But
people watched me go around and show the crowds.
Is that 17,000 with inflation or?
We're killing it, man.
Good.
I'll see
How many
you.
were in there?
15,000.
15,000?
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
guys think? How many were there?
What do you guys think?
Definitely close to that,
It's
yeah.
over 10.
We're killing
I
it.
don't know when the last time there was that many people at a political rally in Canada.
Are you gonna come back to? Are you coming back to to Alberta?
Alberta.
We're gonna do one more stop in Alberta, Pierre. I'll come back if you do.
I do.
I'll come back if you do.
You know, the great rivalry. Imagine that. Calgary
Yes.
would have to beat Edmonton.
Oh man! You're not gonna let Calgary outshine you guys.
That is a serious rivalry. So I know I grew up with that rivalry.
Yes.
Might have a chance since we got a couple guys out of line.
Yeah.
Quality is not that good, but we could hear the audio. Wouldn't that be something if Pierre Poilievre went to Calgary and it was a rivalry? I've been telling everybody on my channel that I believe that Pierre Poilievre could fill up an arena. Wouldn't it be something if they filled up the Saddle Dome in Calgary? Oh boy, that would be so exciting. Just for everybody's information, the Scotiabank Saddle Dome could fit just under 20,000 people. That would be epic. And one thing that I recommended on my Twitter X account was that they charge $5 entry fee, or it could be by donation, and raise money for the food bank. Because after 10 years of the Liberal government, we are seeing record amount of people at the food bank across Canada with 2 million monthly users. So that would go a long way to show that, you know what, we need to help out Canadians. Now let's take a look at Mark Carney's rally, which was at the exact same time as Pierre Poilievre's rally, and this one was held in Richmond, BC. I have a Mark Carney line video with it sped up so that you could see how many people were in the crowd. You could gauge how many people this looks like. And that is it. That's the end. So to me, that looks like potentially 1,000 people, maybe less. I'm not too sure, but we're going to take a look at more footage. So this is what it looked like inside the rally. And what I did is I asked Grok, which is an AI, to determine how many people showed up to this rally. And Grok told me that based on the estimate of the image, there was between 1,500 and 2,000 people. That's right. So if you compare that to 15,000 people, that is like 5% of the crowd. And Richmond is a Liberal stronghold. They would have been able to, that is as strong as you're going to get. This is a lower mainland riding, which has traditionally gone to the Liberals. And that leads me to, I absolutely can't wait until Mark Carney takes on Pierre Poilievre in the French debate. Mark Carney is going to get absolutely obliterated, which he's going to be scrambling in French. He won't know what to do. And guess what? There'll be absolutely nobody there to help him out this time. His French is so bad. Check out this clip and how he looks at his colleague. I hope I said that correctly.
Et de nos littoraux et en travaillant avec l'industrie pour créer des pêches plus durables et respectueuses de l'environnement. La protection de nos ressources en eau douce et aussi la protection de nos ressources en eau douce est aussi une priorité.
As you can see, he's kind of like, oh crap. And guess what? I'm bilingual and I have barely any idea what he just said. He definitely doesn't have the accent. And he's looking around going, Did I say that correctly? Just wait until the Liberal and Conservatives are up in front of the world in the French debate. I will be reporting on it. Mark Carney is going to be looking like so bad in front of the Quebecers, which leads me to take a look at these statistics here that I got for you. 338 polling shows Quebec abandoning Bloc Québécois and going all in on the Liberals. But let's be real. After the French debate, do you really think that Quebec will back someone that could barely speak French fluently? Carney's collapse is incoming in Quebec. And take a look, they're predicting 47 seats. That's right, a complete annihilation of Bloc Québécois. And look at the Conservatives with only 13 seats and NDP non-existent. Check out this chart. What goes up must come down. That's right. It went straight up because Bloc Québécois went straight down. But after the French debate, do you honestly think that Quebecers are going to select someone that can't speak fluent French? I personally don't think so. And Quebecers traditionally don't share their hand with the polling agencies, and they usually select their selection right before they choose. And now I have a clip of Mark Carney, and this is how he's doing his rallies now. I heard he did this a few days ago. He also did it yesterday in Richmond. He's basically mocking Danielle Smith, and he's talking about a unified country with unity across the board. This does not show any type of unity, and you should see Danielle Smith's response.
Sending Doug Ford onto Fox News to show them that we're not messing around up here. And we're going to send Danielle next. Maybe we won't send her. Maybe we'll send Danielle. No, maybe we won't. We won't send Danielle. No, it's a bad idea. Forget. Strike that. Just ignore that back there.
Well, I've noticed this with progressive men, how much they talk about how much they support women until they meet a strong conservative woman. And so this is a pretty consistent type of approach that I've seen, not only from the current Prime Minister, but the former one as well. And the attitude is, sit down and shut up. Well, I don't shut up. I make sure that Albertans know exactly how I feel about issues, and I'm going to continue advocating on behalf of my province, whether he likes it or not.
What a response from Danielle Smith. And I completely agree with her. For a party that's all about feminism and women's rights, they sure know how to take down the woman leaders in this country. Now, Danielle Smith says she supports a united Canada, but not one that abuses Alberta. So a reporter came out and asked, is Alberta going to separate from Canada if Mark Carney and the Liberals win? Let's take a look at what she says in her response.
Albertans want to leave Canada if Mark Carney's Liberals win this election. You've said that you won't lead a referendum, but where do you stand on this? Do you want Alberta to leave Canada?
Well, I want Canada to work. I want Canada to be able to meet its potential. I want for us to be able to build economic corridors. I want us to be able to develop all of our resources from oil and gas all the way through to critical minerals and beyond. But I also want Canada to work for Alberta, and it hasn't for the last 10 years because of terrible policies by the Liberals. And so I put forward a list of 9 items that I think would allow for us to have a reset in our relationship with the Federation, depending on who wins in 3 weeks' time. And that stands today. Those are some very basic things if we want to actually move to that reality of making Canada an economic powerhouse and supporting Alberta in particular. So I really hope that we can get Canada on Team Alberta, because Team Alberta has always been on Team Canada.
That's very true. You know, the equalization payments, Alberta pays the largest amount in these equalization payments across Canada. And guess what? Enough is enough, says Alberta Premier, and I don't blame her at all. Why are we squashing the energy sector? And that's the reason that Canada became wealthy in the first place, is because of our energy. Yeah, the reason that we have free healthcare in Canada is not because of anything other than our energy. So why in the world is the Liberal government going after Canada's energy? We have the third largest oil reserve on planet Earth. That's right. And we also abstract our oil and our gas at a much friendlier way than the rest of the world. So if we actually sold our natural resources to the world, it would lower global emissions because we do it in a lower emission way. Now on to foreign interference, and you are not going to believe any of this. Melissa Lesman with the Conservatives is coming out, and it's because the reports that are coming out in the newspaper is so biased, it's so ridiculous. Get this. She writes, if you say targeting, and she's talking about the media, you are actually mean promoting. The regime in Beijing is amplifying Mark Carney's message to help him win this election. It is incredible. Look at all the articles. Targeting, as if to paint him as the victim. That's right. He's no victim. He's the beneficiary of this promotion. Yeah. So he's not being targeted at all. This is foreign interference, plain in sight. And I love this one. This is Mark Carney's ego. Boy, I'm sure glad that the government pays off the media. Yeah. I've been told them all to use the word targeted to make it sound like I'm the victim so that people don't realize that China is helping me win the election. Yeah, it's true, Canada. China wants Mark Carney to win this election. And here's the National Post. Chinese government is boosted Mark Carney's post in popular social media platforms. You know what's absolutely nuts is I have 184,000 people that follow me on TikTok, and I make my short form videos, and my videos are straight up getting suppressed. Normally my videos get 250,000 views easy, and my views are at like 20,000, 30,000, and oftentimes my videos are reported for nothing, and I have to dispute it, and then they're like, oops, I'm sorry, yep, it's fine, because I did nothing wrong. But if you are not 100% for Mark Carney, they're gonna take your video down. It's straight up under attack, and I wonder why. Who owns the TikTok app? Well, we could see plain in sight that not only is it mainstream media, but it's also the social media platforms that are going right to support Mark Carney. And you're going to have to check this out. On the left is Pierre Poilievre at the Edmonton rally with Stephen Harper, which was posted 4 hours ago. And on the right, it's Mark Carney meeting with David Eby, posted 20 hours ago. One has 3,400 likes and the other one has 244 likes. You can't make any of this up, ladies and gentlemen. And check out the views, just under 26,000 for Stephen Harper and Pierre Poilievre, and the other one has under 8,000. That just shows how much interest there is for change in Canada. You can't fudge these numbers. So here's a post I made. Trump wants Carney to win. WEF wants Carney to win. The EU wants Carney to win. Mainstream media wants Carney to win. The polling firms want Carney to win. And now we found out that China wants Carney to win. Literally, the only ones that are not endorsing Mark Carney is you, the patriotic Canadians in this country. Pierre Poilievre represents the people of this country. And guess what? Everything is against the people of this country. We need to rise up, and every single person in this country needs to fight back with a vote for Pierre Poilievre in this election. We need to make it too big to rig. And guess what? Even in Pierre Poilievre's riding, They have officially put in 90 different candidates because they want people to be confused and not be able to find Pierre Poilievre to vote for him. Check out how many people are going to be on this ballot. I can't even find Pierre Poilievre. Oh, there he is, the incumbent. But I don't think that's going to be on the ballot. They just put that there. But look at all of these names. You're going to have to really look. And that just shows you how it's literally everything against Pierre Poilievre. That makes you really should start thinking, why is everybody against Pierre Poilievre? It sounds like you should go against what everybody wants you to pick. Yeah, that's right. You need to pick somebody that's going to be fighting for you. Because the globalists are not fighting for you. They're fighting for our resources. Yeah, Mark Carney and the globalists are trying to abstract or take our resources and take all of our freedom away. I hope you liked this episode. That's it for me today. I have so many stories that are coming up, and I'm going to be reporting on as many as I can. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button and leave a comment. It does help the algorithm. I can't wait until the next report. Let's go.